Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacqueline. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacqueline at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Dr. Madalene Chan, and I'm joining you today on USA Global TV radio for the Talking Heads episode 4, in which we are going to be talking about accepting life lessons with love. I'm going to take you on a journey. All right, so here we go. What is accepting life lessons with love? What is life lessons? Right. Okay, I kind of look at life in the way that we are here on this world, on planet Earth, to understand how we can have a higher potential to reach in our lives in every part of areas of our life, from a personal to relationship with family, friends and loved ones, to relationship at work with your boss and your colleagues, with your inner relationship in the way that you relate to what you love to do as a hobby, or what makes you happy. And then, of course, we have to learn about when you're going to be a parent as well, when you're going to give birth and having to bring up children and take care of the elders as well. This is all life lessons. So as a human, our job is to refine. So if we think of ourselves, you know, when the saying is diamond in a rough, well, you know what? It's so far close to the truth, more than we actually anticipate. Basically, we are here to refine our rough edges. You see, with a diamond, there's the encasing of the concrete, right? Or the rock. There's lots of rocks around diamonds. That's why they're found in mining and mountains. Therefore, you have to search high and low. Once you find a diamond, then you start cutting away and smoothing away the rough edges for it to become a bright, shining diamond. Now, if we look at accepting life lessons with love, we should look at ourselves as, hey, we have found that precious diamond, but that precious diamond is encased in a harder outer materials that we need to crack open. So we have to look at each life lesson. So I wrote something in my, maybe you can see it, in my notebook. And I've called this Diamond Awakening, like diamond in the rough. So basically, I've been through a lot, and I've had to polish my life, as I've mentioned. So we're here to create a new reality for ourselves. Yeah. So life lessons is when you take anything that is thrown at you, yeah, and instead of carrying on and putting up with that energy and being stuck, if you think of stuck in a well with all your issues and dramas and your fears and all the experiences you've got, and you keep them stuck in the well. It's all very well keeping them there, but they're stuck in the well. So one day you're going to have to draw up the bucket in the well. So you cannot keep on suppressing. We as a human race suppress most of things. And even though we go to a therapist and we start to understand the reasoning behind the root of a problem, it's all very well we go and do the sessions, but after that we must continue We must continue this. And how we do this is we have to keep reminding ourselves that we are this diamond. And even though we've been to have professional help in a professional medical person or a professional therapist that speaks into your life and helps you reason and sees things and helps you to come away from that pain is still stuck in the cellular memory in the cells. So we need to get rid of this. So on the outer side, we can get rid of it and we can go to our sessions and but then we need to remove it from our auric field. How do we start to remove stagnant energy that is stuck in our auric field energy? Good question, huh? I have searched, I have experienced, I've tried to understand this for many, many, many years. And I always kept going through the same lesson, the same energy of that lesson. That energy is you have to love yourself. And that doesn't mean loving yourself as a human in your own embodiment. It means loving the inner core of yourself, the inner strength. Imagining, for example, for me, there's Dr. Madalene, which is the human. And everybody knows me as, well, not everybody, but the people that do know me, sorry. But then there's a part of I that no one really knows me unless you're actually in tune with. And that is a sacred I. That I is I am. It's who I am. And I am is a sacred part of who I am. Therefore, I need to acknowledge every day before anything, every time I wake up, I first acknowledge and give thanks to who I am. That doesn't mean I am as the daughter, as the friend, as the sister, as the co-worker, colleague. No, that means the sacred I am, the innate, the inner core being of who I am, which is my heart and my mind. So it's a divine heart and divine mind, which like a sacred marriage. That's what they say, we're the bride and groom. It's divine mind and divine heart. Or, excuse me, you can say the father mind and the mother heart and soul. It doesn't matter how you say it, how you relate to it. You just have to connect to that special magical presence within, which, by the way, we all have. But there's one little cheeky monkey that stops us. And this lesson is, how can I say, the biggest lesson in life, I have to say. I mean, I'm continually going through this on a day-to-day basis. And that is understanding from a true heart, from an ego heart. This is where we can fall, because the ego, the lesson of the ego is, it's massive. It's absolutely as big as the whole planet itself, this lesson. And we are all involved in the lesson of the ego. I don't care, even if a guru has mastered what he's or she has been following and teaching the wisdom, if they are in their ego by always getting their students to depend on them, so the students can't graduate and be independent, that is the guru's ego. We are here to teach each other, to learn, to observe, to listen, really listen. Elevated listening even. That's a quote for Dr. Jacqueline. It's from Dr. Jacqueline, elevated listening. I'll tell you about that later. But I just want to focus right now on how we have to learn from each other. How, when we're so occupied with our own lives and our own dramas, that we are missing out essential components of our life, essential special words, essential special. We're not able to pick up good, the energies, the special energies that people emanate from each other. We're always being determined by fear, the fear energy, and because we keep watching, and it's great watching TV and Netflix and everything, but to be honest, watching these Netflix marathons, and I've got to say, right, I have to tell you, I have fallen by the wayside. Oh my God, did I do that? Yeah. About 2 weeks ago, I was introduced to Netflix series. I ended up watching a series. It was supposed to be just one series. They're so clever. They're so clever, these directors and people that build this imagery. They hook you in. I ended up, no joke, everyone, I ended up watching it from 9 o'clock. I didn't finish till 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. It's such a distraction. Now, it's okay if I had the next day off, but I didn't. So what happened was I was enjoying that. I was in this world of Netflix drama and I was enjoying it. But because I overstayed my stay, in other words, it worked the complete opposite way for me. It left me drained out. It left me where the next day I had things to do. I got up late. I didn't have my full attention because my subconscious mind was still in the Netflix drama. It was still subconsciously replaying. So what I'm saying about the lessons of the ego is even with when you're watching a drama and you want to want more and more and more. Listen up, everyone, because that is when your ego is interfering big time. I mean, seriously, big time. And it's nice to have a little ego, especially if you're a performer or you're on a podium and you're speaking out or you're a voiceover. Yeah, you got to have some kind of ego, which is confidence. But the ego that tells you, oh, you're not good enough. Oh, I wouldn't even do it. Oh, no, don't go for that. No, it's no. Oh, well, you've seen others, they're better than you. That's an ego. Yep, everyone. It's the ego. It's the fearful ego. Ego. Fearful ego. So life lessons with love is about connecting to your inner heart-centeredness and your higher emotional and higher divine mind as well. An intelligence emotion, which a lovely woman, Dr. Desiree, Richardson, Princess Dr. Desiree Richardson, she told me about emotional intelligence. So I thought that was quite profound in the way that we have emotions that run about and send us all going crazy. And with those emotions can also lead with the ego. But then we have emotions that's intelligent emotions, responding to something from an emotional level. So from this, it's from the feeling body. And the feeling body is what emotional intelligence is. So what we have to do is find a way where we have a true discernment of understanding when we are acting from an ego to a heart. So we have to understand when the ego is playing up. So there's two parts. There's a negative point of ego and this positive side of ego. The positive side, and now I'll say this again, positive side is when you need that extra little sparkle on stage, when you need that extra energy of bigger and larger than life. That's the positive ego. You have the negative ego when it says, oh no, you're comfortable in this life. You don't need to strive. You don't need to go out there, leave that to somebody else. You're just little you. That is a negative ego. Ego. I keep saying ego. So that is a big lesson about the ego. And understanding that when the ego plays up, it brings on anxiety. Does it? Oh, God, it really does bring a lot of anxiety. It makes you shortness of breath. It makes you panic. It makes you worry. You go into all these worry, anxiety, lower vibration. It makes you go into the same as what everybody else does on a lower plane of worry and anxiety. And there's so many of us that are there on a daily basis, and even more lately as well. What I would say is you need to take at least, upon waking up, instead of thinking, oh, I've got to get up and I've got to do this. Stop right there. First, upon waking up, just look around and just have that moment of gracious thankfulness. That you wake up every day and you're alive and you're well. Yeah. And you also need to just wake up and just, how can I say, just connect. Have that 5 minutes, just closing your eyes and just feel that silence upon waking up. And then you will feel more relaxed and ready for your day. This is really important for when you wake up first thing, because then you are in your power. It means also you're protecting yourself. If you think about, like you have sometimes your favorite dress, your favorite clothing. Adorn that piece of clothing on every morning, metaphysical. Adorn it, put that on, place it on you. Think of that clothing as a form of protection. Now, then you put your clothes on over your protective clothing. That will set you up. That will help you to know that there's an inner part of you that's highly protected, that you protect that inner part of you, and you only express it when you feel naturally to express. The ego, however, cannot go into the heart space. Ooh, yeah, I know. Isn't that amazing? You can have your ego heart. You can have your ego. But in your inner sanctum of your heart, The ego cannot even go there. It's a locked door. The ego doesn't have the key to this because it's protective. And a lot of low vibrational energies cannot reach the inner sanctum of our heart, because within the inner sanctum of our heart, we have the energies of love, power, and wisdom. Divine love, divine power, divine wisdom. Think of it as like either like a 3 rays of light. So there you've got your beautiful pink heart, and then you've got your love, power, and wisdom. Love probably could be pink, power, blue, like protection. Think of something that represents love, power, and wisdom. Wisdom, golden color. But this is energies that the low vibrational energies cannot even, well, they haven't got the key, basically. They don't have the key. This is like a 5-star hotel, and they don't even have the key for it. So this is your protection. So life lessons with love is about you sifting through all the situations, all the events, all the experiences, all the betrayals, all the celebrations as well, for you to finally connect to your heart, inner heart sanctum, which will give you power to enable you to handle what is thrown at you. Remember, what is thrown at you is there to strengthen you, is there so you turn all these experiences into life learning lessons, which will bring you a great abundance and help you tap into the highest potential of who you are. We are not just human, but we are human beings on a collective consciousness, a planetary collective consciousness, where we use our higher consciousness to which connects all of us. We're all connected through our higher consciousness, but we're also connected with the with the subconsciousness as well. So another life lesson is about our thoughts. This is a big one. Our thoughts are so powerful. When we speak something out, and we attach when we speak something out, and we bring that feeling, the emotion to it, you will find that when you think of someone and you bring that emotion through, that person will be ringing you, or you'll be out shopping or wherever you are, and that person will just appear. You'll say, oh, you know what? I was just thinking about you. How did that happen? How it happened was not only did you think about that person, but you put the desire and the requiring energy to it to say, you know, I'd really like to see that person, but you don't actually speak out, I'd really love to see that person. You keep that in your thoughts. Now, your thoughts go into its energy, and it's a vibration. So our thoughts can manifest too, especially if our thoughts are fused, harmonized by our feelings, our feeling body, our emotions. And what I mean by emotions is high intelligent emotions. But at the same time, you can also manifest from a low vibration with the emotional body, but with the emotions, but in a negative way. So you can manifest through that. So we have to learn right now, as on a human collective consciousness, that everything that we're thinking, when we think, oh, that doesn't matter, no one knows about that, that's fine. Oh yes, they do. They might not know about it subconsciously, but it goes into, like, say, imagine like a grid, the waves, the vibration, it goes into that special net, like an internet, a special grid, electrical grid, and it adds to the fear grid. So, for example, maybe you've got different grids within this big grid, one big electrical grid with all the different other little circuits. And let's say one of the lessons is about greed and power. Those people that are speaking out, how they are voicing out that they're not into greed and power, yet their inner thoughts are saying completely the opposite. What goes into the electrical field, that circuit of greed and power, is the thought. It's the thought that goes into that and sparks it. So what happens? It evolves, it grows bigger. So that circuit of greed and power, everyone around the world who's thinking about greed and power, they may not be speaking it out to people, but they're thinking of it. It all goes towards that circuit of greed and power. So it's growing and growing. And then you may have one about, so look at every emotional, low vibrational energy first, before we look at the positive. So all those thoughts will go to its owner, right? So everybody that's doing power and greed goes to that circuit. Everyone that's doing about cheating, they may not be cheating in real life, in the outer reality, but they're thinking of doing the cheating. Now, do you think by thinking that you're going to do the cheating, and because you haven't done the cheating in real life, you haven't done the cheating, but you have. You know why? Because it goes to the grid. It goes to the next electrical grid that's about cheating. So what's happening on a human collective consciousness is each of these grids are expanding and growing. Now, if we have a negative electrical circuit with all these big box with all these different circuits of different human lower vibrations, at the same time, we have a positive, which is about people that are thinking that they want to be rich and they put the feeling to it, so they want to manifest it. So it goes to that circuit, you see? So it will go to abundance. So the circuit of abundance, the circuit of creativity. It's, you see? So all I'm trying to say is it's really important, because we're coming to a close soon at Life Lessons with Love, and we will have next week another part of Life Lessons with Love, because Life Lessons, the School of Life, is not just in 1/2 an hour. It's a vast series, and we must start to understand that as well as our actions, our words, that we apply in an outer world reality, in the inner world reality, in our subconscious, in our thoughts, they are just as powerful as if we've just spoken them out. So basically, masks are falling. In fact, I'm going to actually talk about next week about the masks are falling, from a personal to a global to a planetary. I feel that it's really necessary now. You will find that there'll be a lot of big changes, and 2023 will be about taking back our power. And that is going to be from masks falling, by the way that you think you know someone and you don't, but that person that is not revealing themselves to you will end up revealing their truths, their deceit, their masks, without them even realizing, because the energy, the photon gamma rays that are now ascending here on Earth, planetary Earth, after the 11th is the most that it's been for 26,000 years. This energy comes along every 26,000 years. So it's really, really mega powerful. And what it is to highlight the shadowless light. So it's to bring all the shadows. It's to bring all the masks will fall. If you imagine all the masked ball, at a masked ball, everybody in the world is at a masked ball. It's going to be grand. It's going to be a grandeur. And we're in exciting times. The masks are falling, and it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's so that we evolve to the next humanity, to the next human evolution. That's why this is happening. Oh, and by the way, viewers, I want to say that I don't write scripts. I just talk. I talk from what I learn. I've never been educational when I've gone to school. I've learned from my lessons from the school of life. Then from the school of life, I went to the university of life. And I've remained humble with my heart. And I don't get the ego. But if I do, I instantly recognize it. Instantly. So I'm just going to say thank you so much for giving me the time and for you to listen, to tuning in to Talking Heads. This might not be for everybody, and I understand that. And I'm not trying to do this because it's a very sensitive topic. But at the end of the day, the world is changing. It's never going to be the way it was. There is no blame. There is just human evolution for us to reach the highest potential that we can be. And it's time for us to go galactic. All right then. Okay. Much love, everyone. Thank you very much, Dr. Jacqueline, for allowing me to speak on Talking Heads on the fantastic platform of USA Global TV and Radio. And I will see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Have a wonderful day. And with divine love, divine heart, divine mind, with high direct emotional intelligence. Mwah. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.